Hello, Jonathan Mayorca here with the Convo Couch and True Rebel Network. We are here outside the LA County Registrar Recorder Office over here in Norwalk. It is 8 a.m. and we're here to see the 1% manual tally count. And I rolled up and I just rolled up with Angelica Dueñas and Maria Estrada, who are here. And I'm just going to document this because this needs to be documented because we're the only people here to see the 1% manual tally. Okay, so I'm here with Angelica Dueñas, who is the candidate for Congress in District
29.
29, that's right. So tell me about your experience here so far. What days? You came yesterday, right?
That's right. We were here yesterday. We were here to witness the 1% manual tally of the vote by mail, actually. So what we were hoping to catch yesterday. They let us know that they were not ready, that the tally sheets were not ready to go, and that more than likely it was going to start today. And then after asking questions, if they were sure it wasn't going to start any earlier than that, they did let us know that it might be starting yesterday afternoon, in which a couple of folks came back to check in on that. And at 2 o'clock yesterday, and shortly after that, they were informed that, in fact, it was not going to be happening yesterday after all, that it was going to be broken up into about 3 days. So today, tomorrow, and Monday. Today and tomorrow, we'll be able to witness the tally for the in-person voting, and then on Monday, vote by mail.
Okay, so you see here, congressional candidate Angelica Dueñas. We had Raji Rob also, who had a lawsuit. We also have Maria Estrada here, so I'm going to get her opinion because she just went up there and then came back down and said that
they weren't ready yet. They didn't have the tally sheets out yet, and they weren't ready to start. It seems like.
So that's some bullshit. All right, so I'm here with Maria Estrada, who was running for state assembly in District
63.
That's right, 63, against Rendon, right? Yes. So you just, we got here and they said that, we were okay to go upstairs for the 1% manual tally. They're only allowing one person in per room for 30 minutes. So Maria was the first one to go. What happened?
So there's actually 3 rooms. 2 of the rooms are not ready yet. And the room that we went into, actually, they're actually just attaching the precinct sheets together. And they have like stacks of them. So they're not going to be ready for a little while. This was actually supposed to occur yesterday. So I'm not sure why they're still not ready. But they're not going to be ready for a little bit. And they're only allowing one person in for 30 minutes at a time max.
And Jeff Klein came out yesterday and said that was for COVID reasons, but yeah. So that's very strange. We've seen that it's been yesterday morning they were supposed to be ready, and then they said 2 p.m., and then they weren't ready. I was here for that. And then now we're here at 8 a.m. in the morning, and they're still not ready. So what does that tell you?
Well, I could tell you that I don't believe that they're accustomed to people actually watching this. They're not used to actually it being overseen by the public, and they usually do things willy-nilly. So I think now that they know that we're watching, they're trying to be more careful and go through the process properly, because this is actually a check. However, I know there was some concern from the Long Beach Coalition about the way that the locations were chosen. But I know right now the room that they sent me to is actually Linwood, which is in my district. So it's good that we're here to watch that specifically.
Interesting. So did they give you a time on when they would be ready or no?
No, and they really didn't know. By the looks of it, it would have been about an hour at least.
Okay, so we will come back for that. Can you tell me more about that Linwood, the Long Beach Coalition? What was that? What's that? Is that a lawsuit or something?
This is regarding after the March election. There was an initiative in Long Beach. I think it was Measure A. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it was Measure A that would have increased the city's taxes. And Long Beach right now is at 10.25%, so they have really high taxes. And this organization was against this measure. So the night of the election, the measure was losing by significant margin, and then suddenly the next day the measure was up won by 16 votes. So they immediately asked for an audit, a recount, and they were ready with the money to do the recount. And then Dean Logan's office said that they couldn't find the ballot, so that they really couldn't do it. So we came, actually, you were with us, and it was like mayhem, stacks of shit everywhere. When you looked at the ballots as you were observing, they were from all over. So there was really it didn't look like there were put in any order by location. So I could see why they said that, but at the same time, the fact that they're not able to locate them is problematic, because how do you do checks? The fact is that we asked, 24 organizations asked for ballot images so that we could actually view ourselves, and Alex Padilla denied it using the voter registration law about viewing people's voter registrations. But we weren't asking for the voter registrations, we're asking for ballot images. And Raji Robb has a case right now, and unfortunately the judge actually quoted Alex Padilla to him, and Alex Padilla is actually part of the lawsuit. So I personally have protested outside of Dean Logan's house and Padilla's house prior to the March primary because of the issues that we had back in 2018. The process is corrupted. The fact that the public is not allowed to view items, the fact that the public the fact that they hired attorneys to fight the public to look at the integrity of our elections is problematic. The LA Board of Supervisors has received numerous testimonies over the years about Dean Logan's history, his lack of integrity, the fact that we've had so many problems. I mean, we witnessed in March mass voter suppression. Dean Logan lied. We have video of me talking to him about what was going to happen with these new voting machines. They weren't open 11 days. They shut down polling locations from 4,000 to 1,000, which affected primarily Black and brown communities. And the fact that the machines were put in place and most of them didn't work, so people had to vote manually and people had to wait 6 to 7 hours to vote in California, in LA County, is absolutely unheard of and ridiculous. But it shows how much they're so willing and so eager to suppress the vote. None of this is an accident. It's all intentional. The fact that people aren't up in arms about it is kind of sad, because we've become so complacent with all of this corruption that we don't say or do anything about it. But we've been fighting it. I've been asking for information. For example, people have the ability to log into these machines. So we've been asking for the login records. And I, again, asked for not only the login records, but the list of everyone who logged in, when they logged in, the times they logged in, and what they did when they logged in. Primarily, I know that Dean Logan logs in at all hours of the day or night. One person should have that kind of access. That doesn't make any sense. And with his record and his history and the fact that we've got fucked in March, where the people of LA County had to wait for hours and hours, and people actually decided not to vote because of that. All of that was done so that it would affect Bernie Sanders' delegates list. People don't realize that. We have the largest voting bloc in the state of California, and that would have decided how many delegates Bernie got. So this was all intentional. This was all done in a manner that made it look like chaotic, and that, we don't know what's going on. But they know what's going on. They know what they're doing, and it's all intentional. And we need to be diligent about paying attention and holding these people accountable and asking for public records requests. Holly Mitchell just got elected to the Board of Supervisors, right? So Holly Mitchell, we need you to vote with the other two Board of Supervisors who want Dean Logan out. And we need a registrar that has integrity, that has a good history, and that we could trust, because nobody trusts Dean Logan. And if we have to go back to his house and Padilla's house to make a point of this, then that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, it's crazy. They hired Dean Logan, who has literally a history of like some fraud in King County in Washington
State. Yeah. He had to leave his job before he got fired for manipulating elections up there. And there's so much history on him, and the fact that they hired him tells me that they hired him specifically to do this. Why else would you hire somebody with that kind of record? It doesn't make sense.
In one of the largest counties in California, in the richest state, it's like a 5th largest economy in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is completely suspect. Like, what's going on?
Well, if you look at the people that are in this district, like the speaker, the amount of power they wield, not only in this county, but in the state, it is important for the Democratic Party to keep that stranglehold on these communities. So they can't afford to have a non-establishment person who's not going to toe their line win an election. And I'll be honest with you, the amount of increase of registered voters in my district is significant. It's like 15%. So the vote count should be significantly higher, not just because of that increase of 33,000 voters, but the fact that it's a presidential election and Donald Trump's in office and we're in the middle of a global pandemic. So the fact that we have so much increase in registered voters and yet the vote count so far doesn't bear that out. There's not really a significant increase in the amount of people that voted doesn't make sense. So there should be actually, and right now they're saying of the 231, they only have accounted for 111. So the fact that there's still so many ballots, vote by mails, over 800,000 that they haven't looked at. The Dropbox ballots haven't been all counted. Yesterday and the day before, there were ballot boxes in Maywood and Long Beach that were just being picked up. So there's still a lot of ballots out there that they have not counted, whether it be for the presidential elections, city council elections, or for my race. And I honestly don't trust the numbers at all. And in fact, I'm really... the fact that the numbers increase where the percentage difference remains the same, I'm within 5.5 points. I mean, that doesn't, it stays about that same range the whole time, where I just don't find that to be really realistic. It doesn't make sense. It's not impossible, but it's not probable.
What's your the total at? Is it like? It's not 99%. What's it at? It's like at the total amount of votes that they counted in your district. Because I know Angelica only has 72% total votes counted.
Well, if we have 231 registered voters, and right now I think the count's at 110,000, that's 120,000 people.
It's only like 55% or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And there are other counties that have all been like 99%, 100% counted. So that's interesting that two like anti-establishment progressive candidates like yourself and Angelica are still getting votes in. It's suspect to me. It's suspect. I don't know.
Well, it's illogical, but again, the room that we're in today, because there's only one room open, is Linwood, and that's in my district, which is fortunate. So we'll be able to see what's going on there. But like I said. The County of Los Angeles and the Registrar's Office and Alex Padilla are doing everything they can to not provide and disclose information to me and to the Long Beach group and to Raji Rob and to all the organizations that are doing election integrity and trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. The fact that our own government is fighting us for transparency is problematic. Now, the United States, if this was another country like Bolivia or Venezuela or any other country, they'd be raising holy hell. Oh, their elections are rigged. You don't have to like Donald Trump. You don't have to respect the man. But a lot of what he says is actually true. And the fact is the Democratic Party is known notoriously for rigging elections. The speaker busted voters for our 8M elections, a lot of which weren't even registered. There were Republicans and people from outside of the county. This is the Speaker of the Assembly at a delegate race. That's how invested they are in maintaining power. And the fact that we have leftists like myself trying to get in and they're doing everything they can to obstruct us at the very bottom levels shows how afraid they are of us. Without corruption, Speaker Anthony Rendon wouldn't be in office right now. Without corruption, we wouldn't even be having these discussions right now. Because there's so much corruption at every level, whether it's intimidation and bullying by city officials, attacking people just for putting a lawn sign, to the fact that we're not able to see ballot images or find out who's logging into these machines that affect our elections, to the heavy security and the way where they could live stream, but we can't, record or take photos. It doesn't make sense. Either you're transparent or you're not. This institution is not transparent, and that in itself screams of corruption and that there's something going on that they don't want the public to see.
Thank you, Maria. I agree. Yeah, it's not transparent. So stay tuned. We're going to be covering this shit.